Alright, what up, bitches? Welcome to another rousing installment of Daniel's Horror Review. Alright, today we're going to be doing a review on a little hidden gem from '99 called Ravenous. It is a really good movie. I give it 4 out of 5. And on a rent it, or skip it, rent it, or buy it, rent it. It's not, there wasn't a whole lot of special features, the DVD wasn't, like, I don't know if it's the most rewatchable movie in the world, but for one time it's really good. So, I mean, rent it, see what you think. It's definitely a love or hate, I think. You're either gonna love it or you're not gonna like it at all. So, this movie is got an all-star cast. Well, I mean, they're all stars, but they're not like mainstream stars. I mean, you got Guy Pearce, Robert Carlyle, Jeffrey Jones, David Arquette, Neil McDonough, Jeremy Davies. All of them are excellent in this movie. Excellent cast, especially Robert Carlyle. He puts on a fantastic performance. The best in the movie. It's about Captain John Boyd, who is played by Guy Pearce, who is sent to a remote outpost in Nevada following a military disgrace during the Mexican-American War. The disgrace was he is in the heat of a battle and he just decides to freeze and play dead because he doesn't want to die. But when this happens, the Spanish people start piling up dead bodies and bringing them behind enemy lines and whatever, and he's on there because they think he's dead. So then he crawls out of the pile and takes over their command center. Now, knowing that he froze and played dead, you know, the reason he took over the thing, they had to promote him because he did take over their headquarters or whatever you want to call it, but they sent him to this little shithole out in the middle of nowhere because of the way it happened. The post is just filled with a bunch of oddball characters. Sorry. One night, a man named Calhoun, played by Robert Carlyle, shows up. He's half frozen, half dead. And they try to find out what's going on. He starts spinning them this tale about, you know, he gets lost in the middle of winter, and they end up staying in a cave, and he's with a bunch of different people. One of them's Colonel Ives, and then they start resorting to cannibalism. And they start eating people one by one. And as you eat people, the thing is, you gain their strength. So you become stronger, you feel better. You know, if you're sick, you're healed. If you're dying, you'll live if you just feed off somebody else. So he tells them a story, and they all go out to discover if this story is true, to find if there's any survivors, because he left when there were still a couple people still alive, is what he said. And that's where I'm going to leave it, because after that, you know, different things happen. You start giving away different parts of the plot. One big suggestion: do not watch the trailer before you watch the movie. First off, the trailer is bad. I think that's why this movie probably didn't do so well. That, and it's a dark comedy horror period piece about cannibals. I don't really think there's a target audience for that style of movie. But the trailer is terrible, and it gives a lot of the twists away, which blew me away. I'm glad I watched it after I watched the movie, because it gives away a lot of twists in the movie, and it didn't make no sense as to why that was in the trailer. The best part of this movie, what makes this movie so unique, is its tone and its soundtrack. The tone of the movie is that of a dark black comedy. It's a horror movie. It's about cannibalism. It's about eating other people, but they make it funny. And they do a really good job of it, and part of that is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is really good. The music doesn't really fit the moment, but it makes it humorous in a way. It's really good. The whole movie is really well done. My only complaint about the whole thing that I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars is they had director problems. Their initial director got kicked off the piece, or he left. Something happened with the initial director, so a second unit director came in to take over the movie. So it's somebody I don't think they were relatively experienced at the time. But they didn't do a very good job of building tension or suspense. It starts like they're going to, and then it just kind of happens. Right? The thing about building tension and suspense is you gotta, you know, show immediate threat, immediate danger, and you gotta draw it out to leave your audience on the edge of their seat. You just draw out the shots. they don't do that so well here. Tension, suspense. I never really found myself nervous or worried about anything. I didn't really. Was I entertained for the whole entire movie? Very much so. It was a very excellent movie. Very well acted, very well written. It was well made, except for my little complaint right there. That's my little complaint. Obviously, the movie's about cannibalism, so it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But for a movie about cannibalism, I don't see. Very respectfully done. It's not over the top disgusting. It's, they even kind of poke jokes at it, which is awesome. It's a really good movie. I recommend it to. I just recommend it to pretty much anybody. I think almost anybody could like this movie. I mean, it's not going to offend anybody is what I'm trying to say. I think anybody can watch this movie. It's a really good movie. I recommend it. Everybody go watch Ravenous.